how it fits into what their defense is.
Sure. What they said that from the very beginning, from the honeymoon, that it was Charla Mack who continually attacked her husband, Darren Mack. Emotional abuse, but also physical abuse. And actually on the honeymoon, she kicked him in the groin and then later said that she didn't mean it at all. This witness testifying to that cruise they took on Carnival Cruise Lines, that Darren Mack actually outlined in his application for a protective order, saying that she bashed him in the head. She bashed him in the head on the cruise. He landed on the table with his head on the table. And then it goes on with broken fingers, and then there's the emotional abuse. And the defense is going to use this because they're not going to have a lot of forensics, I don't think, to show this self-defense. So they're going to use the state of mind of Darren Mack, of what he had gone through continually with his wife Charla up until that point. His mind knew what was coming, and then when she pulled that gun, when it fell out of his pocket, he was going to fight for his life.
So, Larry, if you're in the courtroom, and obviously this is the defense that you've laid out, and you have to present these types of arguments, but how worried are you that jurors might start saying, you know what, this is just not right, that these people are trashing this poor woman who is dead and using it to essentially to buttress their own defense here?
Well, of course, I'm always worried about treating a victim badly. But that doesn't mean that simply because Charla Mack is the victim that the defense has to assume all of the facts in favor of the prosecution. If there is evidence, and clearly here there is some evidence, that she has been the aggressor in the past, then it's certainly a viable defense, and it's fair play.
How about the fact that you have here an application by Darren Mack to the court seeking protection from Charla Mack? It seems, as you said, there is some evidence here that makes this more than just a defense attorney sort of throwing it out there for the jury to consider.
Right. This isn't just a defense lawyer standing up and arguing that she has been the aggressor in the past. This is evidence. These are the next door. This is the next door neighbor. This is witnesses from the cruise. This is documented evidence of the defendant seeking legal process to be protected from his wife. So clearly, where the issue here is self-defense and who is the aggressor, it's a fair game, absolutely fair game, to determine, based on prior history, what the current state is.
One of the interesting things about this defense is, in many ways, it turns the whole trial upside down, in the sense that now, in some ways, it forces the prosecution to start playing defense, which gets us to our next title, which is defense by the prosecution. Listen to a couple of the comments that both prosecutor and the defense lawyer had to offer to the jurors during the opening statements.
Charla had an unusual sexual appetite. She liked women. She liked swing with men and women. She did this as part of Darren and Charla's marriage for 3 years before she allowed Darren to participate. She was the one in control.
Indeed, during the course of the marriage, the defendant had persuaded Charla to engage in mutual consensual sex with other people, and she reluctantly agreed.
So, Larry, if you look inside of the courtroom, again, you have a prosecutor starting off saying, here's my victim here, and here's what we're going to prove. And now, in some ways, they've got to go forward by defending their own victim. Not always the case in trials such as this?
Well, of course not always the case, but in this case in particular, this isn't just a random, we don't have any other defense, so let's argue this one. There's clearly a set of facts here, and it's for the jury to determine, based on the evidence that's presented to them, who is the aggressor, who was the aggressor in this deadly encounter, and is it self-defense or is it murder? Clearly the prosecution has the right to present the picture as they see it. Clearly the defense has the right to present the picture as they see it. Obviously, then it's up for the jury to decide. That's why they're the finders of fact.
So you can expect, Larry, if I'm the prosecutor and it comes time to do my summation here, I'm going to throw up on the screen a couple of pictures. I'm going to put on the bodybuilding picture of Darren Mack. And next to that, I'm going to put on whatever picture I have of Charla Mack, the one that we just saw a few moments ago, her standing next to him. Clearly, an enormous disparity in size and weight and strength between the two of them. That's the picture I'm talking about that I throw up if I'm the prosecutor. And then I get that other one that we saw a few moments ago, and I'm going to look at the jury and I'm going to say, come on, who are you kidding? What do you say if you're the defense lawyer?
And I say very simply, from close range, he's clearly much stronger than she is. But mentally and emotionally, and certainly with a gun in her hand, she can be the aggressor. And maybe if the evidence falls that way, she is the aggressor. There's clearly a question of whether she has a weapon. So you can be Charles Atlas or Arnold Schwarzenegger. It doesn't matter how big your pecs are. If someone else has a gun, you're in trouble.
Yeah, always referred to as the great equalizer in any fight, obviously. And as you said, Larry, the important thing here for the defense is there's some facts here that they can point to. It's not one of those situations where all of us as defense attorneys have found ourselves standing up making an argument, not having a whole lot of facts to back it up. They got some here. Gene, quick question back to you if we can, and that is, I'm always curious about who's in the courtroom, who's there supporting either side, what sort of reactions they're having. How about today? Who's inside the courtroom today?
Well, Darren Mack's mother is. She always is. And her head is bowed much of the time. And she's either crying, because I've seen that, or praying, which I think she does a lot. Darren Mack's brother is sitting right next to her. You will notice the resemblance immediately. And then always on that other side is Charla Mack's mother, along with one lone friend. Each side has very, very strong supporters.
All right, Gene, we're going to hit a quick break here if we can while they're in the midst of the recess of their own inside of the courtroom. Gene Casares obviously going to continue our reporting and our coverage out there. Larry Schoenbach's going to be kind enough to hang out with us throughout the course of our session. As we step aside for just a few moments, we want to know what you would say if you had those jury box seats to this trial. You log on to courttvnews.com. You vote on today's 13th jury question, and that is, does the forensic evidence found at the Mack home, in fact, help the prosecution? So far, 95% of you are voting yes, it is. 5% of you are voting it not. It's not. We'll update the results throughout the course of the day. More live testimony coming up in just a few moments. Don't go away.
Do you see? She doesn't feel safe. She's in real danger.
Suspend your disbelief and cross into another dimension.
Sometimes I feel like I'm becoming that guy.
As Court TV gets inside the minds of the most gifted investigators.
That's it. That's murder.
Real people, real cases, mind-blowing results.
You don't believe people can do this. And then when you do it, their whole paradigm just goes boom.
Psychic Detectives, an all-new episode every Wednesday at 10:30 on Court TV.
Between my two phone bills, it's probably about $60 a month.
About $150.
Probably $100 a month.
With Vonage, it's just $24.99 a month for unlimited local and long distance. Call now and get 1 month free, including free calls to the U.S., Canada, Puerto Rico, and Europe. And all the cool features you could ever want are included. Over 20 in all. That's a savings of up to 50% on your phone bill.
Call 1-800-425-4416 now.
My day often starts out stressful.
Millions of Americans suffer from everyday stress. But now there's Relaxane, a safe, natural dietary supplement that relieves stress throughout your entire body. Relaxane is non-addictive, clinically tested, and needs no prescription.
Thanks to Relaxane, I can deal with the stress.
Take control of your stress symptoms with Relaxane. Look for Relaxane at your local Walgreens in the vitamin and supplement aisle. Or call now.
The incumbent has not run a clean campaign. Dirty tactics, spotty performance. There's a trail of dirt leading right to your door.
Your response?
It's time for your mop to step down. Get the 5 signs of clean with Swiffer WetJet. It cleans better than a mop. WetJet traps the dirt that mops can leave behind. For a clean you can see.
The floor is all yours.
Visible clean. One of the 5 signs. Swiffer gives cleaning a whole new meaning. Visit Swiffer.com for a $5 coupon.
If at the end of the day your financial needs have changed and you need cash now, J.G. Wentworth can help. J.G. Wentworth will provide the most cash for your structured settlement or annuity payments. We work with thousands of people just like you to get the cash they need today. It's your money. Use it when you need it. Call J.G. Wentworth today. Representatives are standing by. Call 1-866-393-4970. Would you like to learn how to get the most cash for your structured settlement or annuity payments? I'm here to tell you that J.G. Wentworth can provide the most cash right now for those monthly insurance payments. J.G. Wentworth helps thousands of people just like you get the cash they need today. It's your money. Use it when you need it. Call J.G. Wentworth today. Call 866-447-0873.
Last month, my 10-year-old son asked us to take him to see this baseball movie. The ad seemed innocent enough, so we took him. And that's when we realized that some people play baseball with no clothes on. It was really uncomfortable for us. So that's when we started using commonsense.com. It has free detailed reviews of movies and all kinds of stuff, so we can decide what to watch and what to watch out for, like naked guys playing baseball. Use Common Sense. Go to commonsense.com.
Catch Getting a Ticket in America. At 9, it's back-to-back episodes of Forensic Files, and at 10, it's the premiere of The Investigators, The Kidnapping of Elizabeth Smart on Court TV.
One of my favorite shots here at Court TV, no matter what courtroom we're in, whenever there's a break in any of the proceedings, we go up to the Great Seal. I've always wondered why it's not the Great State, but it isn't. It's the Great Seal. In this case, of Nevada. So because the camera shot is on that, you're seeing me. They're only in a short break, and that means we get a chance to get some perspective on some of the testimony that we've been seeing in this case against Darren Mack. Gene Casares, who is the best at doing this whole perspective thing. You boil it all down so quickly, I think it's because you're a lawyer, Gene, and not only that, but a good one and a good broadcaster too. Jack and I have been talking during the commercial break a lot about this, the evidence, and I get it. I know that you have to lay out all the evidence, even when you have a, okay, I did it defense, and the reason I did it is why you need to let me go. But at the same time, I wonder if you confuse the jurors. They're sitting there thinking, wait a minute, you just told me you did this. Why is the prosecutor wasting my time? Does that happen?
That's a good point. You're getting inside the jurors' heads, and maybe they are confused at points and aspects of time. But I think the closing argument, that's the point where it's all tied up on either side. They give the story. You understand the relevance of everything. And I think that's the key. And the prosecution, of course, has to do this legally to set that foundation, but also to just really paint that picture of the premeditation and the intent to commit these crimes.
So does the prosecution also have to paint a picture for the jury in terms of motive? Only because if this is self-defense and if it is an insanity, there should be no motive, right?
Well, good point. The prosecution says, though, there is motive. Now, we all know they don't have to prove motive, but it's very good to do so. And the prosecution is saying that it is the divorce that